Hello everyone, and welcome to this Podpage tutorial where we'll be showing you how to build a professional podcast website without coding. Now we've got the link to Podpage down in the description below, so you can go ahead and start building your own right after this video. When you get to the website, you can go over to the top right corner, click on create your website. And right here, you get to put in your podcast name. It says here, enter your podcast info below, and Podpage will instantly generate 20 plus different versions of your actual podcast website. Now, if you don't want to use this option, you can decide to enter podcast feed instead. But if you don't have a podcast just yet, you can use no feed yet. Click on it. So here we get to this page where it says, let's build you a website from scratch. And if you don't have a feed yet, podcast is a little less magical, but you can still get started. So this is already a hint. So if you have your podcast already running, Podpage will make it a lot more awesome. But if you don't, you can of course begin from scratch. And that's what we'll be doing. So we'll need to go ahead and create a Podpage account. Click on sign in. And though we clicked on sign in, it's taken us to the sign up page, right? Of course, if you'd like to sign in with your account, you can click on sign in, but we'll be providing some information right here and click on sign up. So do that and click on sign up as well. So we filled in this information, our email, our name, and confirming that we're not a robot. So we're going to click and sign up. So right away, we're going to be providing our podcast name and podcast description. And so we have our podcast name, Binary Banter or BB. Then you also have the podcast description, which we've provided. And then it is also nice to have your podcast artwork, as this image will be shown on Apple Podcasts or anywhere basically where your podcasts will be showing. So let's go ahead and choose a file. So we've also added our artwork and we've confirmed that we're not a robot for a second time. Click and save. And here you can see creating 20 plus variations of your podcast website. You can see some sequences, imported all your podcast episodes, created SEO optimized web pages, and this will be ticking as it's progressing forward. So we'll be giving it a moment. And we're making progress. So you can see right here, this was the picture we use. You can see it displayed all over here. You can also see right here and then here. We like the black feel right here, but of course you can see other options. Like it mentioned, you'll be having 20 plus website designs for your podcast. Awesome, right? So you'll need to choose between any of these, which you really want to use. We have our sites focused on this one right here, and you can use one of two options. You could use a preview. So we're going to click on it. So this is how it looks like. Awesome. And of course, this is a desktop view. Then you could also have the mobile view. Great. Now let's click on choose template right here. There we have our website getting really ready. So we're going to scroll down and here we have start customizing. You can see all other things have been handled. So we're going to go down to start customizing just to complete the process. So here you get to put some customization to the color. If you don't want this color, you can come over here and actually when you click on it, you can see your color palette right here and we could change it. We like it as it is. And then of course you have the dark mode. If you want to switch it to light mode, you can see how light mode looks like. We prefer dark mode. So click on next. And of course, at this point, you can skip through all these processes, but we'll be taking you through every one of them so you can see what you'll need to do along the way. So you have on-site reviews if you'd like others or visitors to see your reviews, and where they can also leave a review. So you can click on this. It's currently toggled on, which is also fine. And then you have the default Apple podcast country, then click on next. Then of course here it says we make connecting with listeners easy. So we're going to look at this. You have the contact option, click on next again. Then you have the register as a guest option right here. Click on next. Then at the top of the website right here, you have welcome to Binary Banter. And this is the text right here as well. You can also change it if you want, and it will change exactly to what you want written right here on the website. You also have the announcement bar link. If you have a new announcement, this is where you can turn the whole announcement bar into a link. So if you want to use this option, it's great. Now, when they click on the link, do you want them to stay in this window or in another window for it to be opened? This is really your choice. You could toggle this on or off. Click on next when you're done, and you can see our setup is complete. Click on go to dashboard. And of course, you have some other things to do to complete your setup, but our website has been completed. In order to complete the setup, you have import RSS feed and finalize your plan. But we can go ahead to the dashboard area at the top right corner and click on Open Website. Let's do that. And here is our Binary Banter podcast website. Awesome, right? This is where you can see our sample episodes, and this is looking pretty nice. Of course, visitors can leave a review, contact you for information or collaborations, and then you have your website. Podpage will also create a web link for you, but Podpage will be your domain, as you'll be having the name of your podcast website right after podpage.com, so you can easily share your link to others. So as you can see, we've been able to create a professional podcast website without any coding, just by answering questions and filling in the blanks using Podpage. Of course, you could always check the link to Podpage down in the description below, start on a plan and begin creating your professional podcast website in a few minutes. So let us know if this was helpful, and thanks for watching.